Hello and welcome to episode 43 of the Fish Tank. That was part of Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol, a song from last year. Thought might as well play a tune, pay for the guitar, may as well use it and all that. Chasing cars perhaps not a brilliant idea, well, unless you're on the M25, in which case it should be quite easy because cars don't move very fast on there. You might say. So, as I say, episode 43 of the Fish Tank, it's time for Apology of the Week, obviously at this time, this stage of the show. And, well, I apologise last week. Last week's show was done in a bit of a rush because I had to dash home, sort of pretty much straight after the episode. Didn't actually tell you that on the thing because I went home to surprise my brother and his friend Nick, my friend Nick, who were working in our local pub, and it was Pub of the Month Awards for November, and that local pub weren't actually, so I'd turn up and surprise them there and then, so I didn't want to mention it at the time, but I did surprise them. So as it was a bit of a rush, I forgot to mention a few comments on previous week's episodes. I was meant to say hello to my friend Jack, but forgot to mention it, so apologies for that. And I was also going to refer to a comment left by Norris Belch, or Blench or something like that, on Jimbo Studios, which talked about us having 4 arms, because I mentioned something to do with 4 arms and 4 legs on an Indian child. He said, we do have 4 arms. I'm not sure what that's on about, so please explain yourself, Norris, and also use your real name, because I know it's not Norris. I know who you are. And while we're on the subject of comments, I would like an apology from someone who left a comment on Jimbo Studios, some spam company, left a comment talking about penis enlargement. It left a comment on a Fish Tank asking if I'd like penis enlargement pills. No, I don't want penis enlargement pills. My penis is big enough as it is, thanks. And just to demonstrate how big it is, I have got this cardboard tube which accurately demonstrates how big my penis is, because the lid of the cardboard tube is the exact length of my penis. So there you go. I'm glad I've got this tube. Just a bit of fun, obviously. It's not that size. I'm not going to reveal how big my penis is live on the Fish Tank. So what's been happening this week? Well, I've bought a new mobile phone for the first time in a long time. New mobile phone. Don't want to. I get it out of my pocket, but I'm not prepared to show it on Jimbo Studios on YouTube and live on the internet because I won't want to make myself a target for burglary. Sorry, burglary. Yeah, burglary is a bad crime, but not as bad as a crime of burglary. The amount of people who keep going to my room and leaving burgers in my room, it's an absolute disgrace. Stop it, whoever you are. Okay? So, I want that sorting out. Do not leave burgers in my room. That's the message on today's episode. So what else about me? I went to go and watch a few comedians called Punt and Dennis. Hugh Dennis from Mock the Week and his comedy partner Steve Punt at the Town Hall. They were very, very funny. Although I'm not going to start telling their jokes, sort of, on the Fish Tank. But there was one joke that was actually very good. That I found particularly funny because they're talking about Australia being good at cricket. They said you hit something and then you run, and Australia's good at it because it's a criminal mentality. So they're used to doing it for years because they hit people and then run, and that's why the criminals live in Australia. So that was one thing that happened. The Home Office has also been in the news because apparently there was something to do with they've miscalculated the amount of illegal immigrants living in the country, which is not that bad. Well, actually no, it is fairly bad. But it's made to sound that it's not that bad because the Home Office hasn't made a big fuss about it, which perhaps suggests that there's something far worse happening in the Home Office that we haven't found out about yet. So keep tuned for more news on that story, possibly. But I'm not gonna mention anything more about it. But so we had officially your favourite fish has been on the show the last 2 weeks, and yet no one's actually responded to the pleas for fishers that I've mentioned. The last comment I had was from someone which said John the Fisherman, a song by Primus, is their favourite fish. I quite specifically gave 3 options of fish or fisher, and then yeah, this comment's about a fisherman, which is not fisher. So I'm not impressed, basically. So I'm going to wind up that part of the show. So it's time for the Celebometer now, anyway. And this week's show, well, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Back on the Telly is still on, so they're not celebrities, so they can't appear again. I used to live, apparently, I only found this out the other day, 2 doors away from me. I lived 2 doors away from me last year. His girlfriend was a daughter of Chris Akabusi, of Record Breakers fame and 400 metre hurdler, former GB athlete. So if he's watching the show, he can appear. No probs. So get him on the show. So it's time for the headline of the week, and this headline, it comes from an American newspaper, and it's about Ronald Reagan. It says, Reagan wins budget, but more lies ahead. So they presumed he was going to lie to him. So a bit harsh about Ronald Reagan, who died a couple of years ago. He suffered quite badly with Alzheimer's, I think, before his death, and as a result, apparently he had loads of various funerals and services held for him. So it could have been because he possibly planned it himself, and with Alzheimer's, if he kept planning it, perhaps, I don't know. So yeah, just implies that a politician's going to lie when surely no politicians ever do that. And this next quote comes from the quote of the week this week comes from Terry Venables, which says, "They didn't change positions at half time. They just moved the players around." So perhaps he just moved the players around. Perhaps he had the centre forward still playing centre forward, but in the back four, perhaps. So it's the England match tonight as well, England versus Croatia. I'm going to watch that. A bit harsh actually if England qualify and Scotland don't, because Scotland have played a lot. Well, Scotland aren't going to qualify. They've played far better than England, so it's a bit harsh if England qualify and Scotland don't. So not very often that I'm nice to the Scottish, but there you go. So there you go. That's it for this week's show. And I've got an announcement to read out. Actually, the Loughborough Star Wars Society is holding a quiz night this week, so I've been asked to point that one out. Apparently, there's no winners and losers in this quiz. No winners and losers, only losers. So there you go. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.